What's going on? J.R. Bang here, giving you the what? And I'm sitting here with a fan. I'm not afraid to admit I'm a fan of this guy right here. We got Mack Wilds in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? How you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
That's a hell of an introduction.
Thank you. Hey, hopefully you don't get nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere. Sign me now if you need some hosting. But man, I want to take it back to The Wire. I remember seeing the previews of season 4 and cats seeing kids, shorties. We didn't expect to see what we saw throughout that season, and you were one of the main characters in that as Michael Lee. How was filming that, and did you expect what happened to happen?
Honestly, no, not at all. When we were shooting, I was 15, 16 years old, like fresh out, like just getting pulled out of high school. It was like the 9th, 10th grade.
Yeah.
And getting paid to run around and curse and shoot guns. So to me, like we didn't know the cultural impact that it would have on popular culture at all. Like we were just literally just having fun. Like we were happy that we were cast. We were kind of happy that we didn't have to go to school every day. It was one of those things. We didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. Like I really didn't fully understand the cultural impact until I was about 21.
How many people walk up to you and do the scene with you and Snoop?
Everybody.
But when people saw that scene, we cried for Snoop because she was a character we loved, but we was like, yo, Micah G. Were you ever afraid of being typecast as far as, what you did from The Wire on to?
But at 17, at 16, 17, I really wasn't thinking about being typecast or anything. I don't think I really understood being typecast until I had a full conversation with like my agents and everything, and they said, look, we think that you're a really good actor.
Right.
Better than you probably think you are. After I did The Secret Life of Bees, 90210 came around. And it was like, do you want to do 90210? Or they offered me to play Little C's in the Biggie movie.
Do 90210.
Yeah. So, but I'm a New York kid, so it's like, yo, do I play something like that could possibly be one of the biggest things for New York, like the Notorious movie, or do I do 90210? That was really a struggle. So I really had to really think about it and say, you know what, let me try 90210 because I really want to be able to do as many different roles as possible. Doing the actual role wasn't too different. I was a kid that was from the projects who went to a predominantly white school, so I already knew the plight that Dixon was going through. So it was easy for me to connect the two and to build that character and make it real.
Now, let's go to Mack Wilds, though.
Okay.
You're doing the music now, and I was reading how your listening party, like your very first listening party, you were just introduced as Mack. Nobody knew it was you. So it was almost like, ha, we got you. Yeah. I'm doing music now. Tell us about that.
One of the biggest weapons that we've had, on our side was the art of surprise. Although it seems very minuscule now, the name change, from Tristan Wilds to Mack Wilds, it helped in my favor a whole lot. I mean, it dwindled a lot of my Twitter followers because no one knew who it was. So changing the name, and the name is a personal name. Like it's my real middle name. Like my name is Tristan Paul Mack Wilds. My mom calls me Mack. My grandmother calls me Mack.
I need a middle name as cool as that. Mine is, I'm not even gonna mention it on this camera. I'm listening to the album, and I can tell you right now, my favorite joint is the title track.
Yeah.
So when I listen to New York Love Story, and I listen to the title track, I'm like, okay, But you remade Remember the Time.
Yes, sir.
Gee, what was going through your head when you decided to take on a Michael Jackson classic?
You know what's funny? Initially, it wasn't even supposed to make the album. Like me and Salam were just in the studio. I was writing Henny.
Salam Remy.
Yeah, me and Salam Remy. We were in the studio and I was writing Henny. And I was just starting to write it, just starting to get through it, and he said, yo, he said, yo, put the Henny to the side or whatever. Yo, I want you to go in there and do Remember the Time. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Cause the whole week that I was out there, he was throwing curveballs at me. It was kind of like the week that I spent with him in December was kind of his version of a litmus test.
Okay.
He wanted to see what I could do.
See where you was at.
Yeah. So I went in there. We did it. we was just playing around with it, and then eventually, like, he came in and he heard it and he was like, yo, this is good. And from there, like, we put it on the back shelf. We just finished the rest of the album. And then next thing you know, he was talking about, yo, this is going on the album. I'm like, you was just joking. Like, what are you talking about?
Now, are you gonna put this of you for real?
Yeah, so.
Now, obviously, I'm not from New York, but when I listen to it, I hear a lot of New York in it. When I hear, you know, a lot of these backdrops, it takes me back.
Yes.
And along with, like, you basically remixing it. Tell us about the album and how you came up with New York: A Love Story.
You know, I just wanted to pay homage to, you know, the place that raised me. You know, like I grew up in New York. Like, I was running the streets, you know, doing auditions and running around, sneaking into fashion shows at like 14, 15. Like, growing up in Park Hill and Stapleton, you know, you definitely have your fair share. Like some of the strongest male figures in my life were the drug dealers and, you know, the dope boys of the town. But, you know, growing up like that and then just starting to run around the city at like 14, 15, trying to do auditions and, you know, meeting girls in Washington Heights and going to Brooklyn to try to buy fronts because I lost my brothers and all of that stuff. You know, all of that stuff, it you know, it builds you into a certain type of person. You become a product of your environment.
But on the album, you got Raekwon on the joint.
Yes.
You from Staten Island. Raekwon is from Staten. The Woo is from Staten Island.
Yeah, I got Raekwon and Meth.
Right. So how was that? You know, people who put Staten Island on the map.
You know, it was dope. It was dope. You know, these are guys that literally watched me grow up since I was like 3, 4 years old. You know, they used to come into my dad's barbershop, get their hair cut before they ran on tour. Meth would be joking around with everybody. He always like had like the biggest energy ever.
As we see on stage.
Exactly. So like that was his real persona. Raekwon would always have the little half moon joint, giving out little $20, your hair shorty, you know, whatever.
Yeah, shorty, you know, son.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Shine like a god.
Exactly,
son, you know
exactly.
Here's a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying?
So
that just shows you how I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. So that just shows you how, man, I don't even,
So like all of them will come in, like RZA, You God, like I grew up around these guys. They literally watched me grow up. And then once I started to get into the business, they started watching me grow up through the business.
Right.
So as soon as I started working on the album, their first question, of course, was, is it any good? So I brought them in, you know, sat them down, let them hear the stuff, and you know, once they really dug it and they really liked it and understood what I was doing, they were like, yo, we have to touch this.
Shorty's nice, son. Shorty's nice. Shorty's nice, son. Well, I know you got a lot of stuff going on while you're up in Chicago, man, so we're going to let you get out of here. I just got to ask you this one question, going back to the white. Is Michael still running around here robbing folks?
Absolutely.
Okay, you think
absolutely? I think Michael definitely took the role of the new latter day Robin Hood in a sense, because that's what Omar was.
Right.
You know, he robbed from the rich and gave to the poor.
Well, look, man, Mack Wilds, New York: A Love Story. Go buy it now. Go to Best Buy. Go to your Target. Get it on iTunes. Go ahead. The Twitter is?
Yes, my Twitter, Instagram is @MackWilds, MackWilds. So hit me up, you know, listen to the album and tell me what you think, you know, your comments and everything.
Not saying follow back, are you?
Oh, absolutely. I do follow back.
Where phone at?
Oh, yeah.
Where Mack's phone at? Get Mack's phone. We gonna make sure that Mack follows Bang, you know what I'm saying? We gonna make sure he follows Bang. But man, look, it was very nice to have you up in the show. And man, anytime you're in Chicago,
most definitely,
we got you, all right?
Definitely, man.
Hey man, that has been the What? You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Mudwing Media and everybody out here, you know what I'm saying? Catch Mack out here in Chicago at Harold's getting them some wings, all right?
Absolutely.
Bang.